Okay, this is by far the craziest collection of gold bullion I have ever seen. Hello everybody, Silver Picker here, and welcome to the Silver Picker Squad. Now, today's video is possibly the most important and interesting video that I have ever made. This is one that I have put a ton of work into, and I am really proud to share it with you guys today. What we're going to be talking about is small gold. That is seemingly affordable, cheap gold bullion products that you can find all over the internet and at your local coin store and at bullion dealers all over. And I'm going to be comparing them and analyzing to see which ones are actually a good value and which ones are not. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at all the different types of small gold products available, talking about their pros and cons, and then plotting them on a chart to see what their relation with one another is on the premium spectrum, as in which ones have the best premium over spot and which ones have the worst. So before we actually take a look at these different gold products, let's talk about the ground rules for this study, right? Let's define the terms. So first off, the standard unit of measurement for gold bullion is a single troy ounce. We're not talking about gold that's a troy ounce or higher. We're also not talking about traditional fractional gold, which is, well, fractions of an ounce. So a half ounce, quarter ounce, or 10th ounce gold piece. We're not talking about that. Even though to some people that may be considered small gold, that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is the really small gold, the gold that can often be had for less than $100 a piece. We're talking about gold that is 1 gram or less. So that's what is going to be in this comprehensive study. So only things that are 1 gram or less. Another thing to note is that I bought all of these different bullion and gold products online because I wanted to make it accessible for everybody. Everyone in the world can access these products online and buy them for the prices that I found them for. I searched the web high and low to find the best possible prices that I possibly could so that this would be a competitive, compelling study that only shows really what you can actually expect to pay for these different gold products. Now, I can't wait to show you the 16 different gold products that I bought for this study, but before that, I gotta give a huge shout out to Goldback Inc. and Alpine Gold, which is the supplier of upma.org, for commissioning this study and sponsoring this video. Really incredibly generous of them, and a huge, huge hats off to them because they commissioned this study because they want to educate you guys, the community at large, about what's out there in the world of small gold. They know that there are going to be some items on that list that have lower premiums than their own products, but they still put education and community above just simply pushing products like many other sponsors do. So a really, really big thank you to them. It's really generous of them to help with this study, and I'm really proud that I got to be a part of it and actually run the study because there were some really interesting findings, and I think you're going to really enjoy this as well. So a big thank you to them. Now let's check out the gold. All right, first off, we have the largest gold piece we're going to be discussing, and that is a 1 gram Chinese Panda. In this case, it is a perfect MS70 graded by NGC. I got the graded one because it was basically the same price as all the ungraded ones, so why not, right? It's a gorgeous looking coin, and it cost me $98.64 on eBay, though it only has $55.60 worth of gold in it, which brings it to a 77% premium over spot. Now, it's high compared to premiums on like 1 ounce coins, which is usually around like 15%, so that's like our baseline, right? So 15%, but there are two major benefits when buying small gold in general. So one is that you don't need to shell out nearly $2,000 to gain access into the world of gold bullion. And second is that if you want to barter with gold, you need to make small change. How are you going to buy a backpack or a good quality flashlight or some other kind of tactical gear in, you know, the zombie apocalypse when you have only an ounce of gold? You really can't do that easily, so you need small gold. And this is a beautiful, beautiful example. Check that out. You can see that it is indeed a real Panda because it has all of the security stuff, and I also bought it from a reputable dealer on eBay. So pretty cool, right? Okay, next up are the 1/2 gram and 1/4 gram gold rounds from Monarch Precious Metals. The 1/2 gram cost me $37.86 and contains $27.80 worth of gold, and the 1/4 gram round costs me $23.01 and contains $13.90 worth of gold, giving them a 33 and 66% premium over spot respectively. Now, if your goal of buying gold is to try and get as close to spot as possible, then obviously you want to go with 1 ounce and higher coins, bars, and rounds. If, however, you also want the convenience of small gold for barter, for example, then these kind of fall a bit flat in my opinion. They're simply too small, like physically, to be able to use in commerce or trade. Like, hear me on this. You will lose these if you carry these in your pocket. I mean, let's take a look at what they are inside these airtights. This is the half gram. This is the larger of the two, and it is smaller than my fingernail. Look at that. It is, you could literally not even cover up my fingernail with this coin. It is so unbelievably small. You put this in your pocket and you will lose it, no question. Also, because they're so small, the strike is really weak and the details are pretty bad. I mean, look, even though we're all in this as investors, every single gold and silver bug also enjoys this as a hobby, and we like seeing nice coins with cool art and design. These do not scratch that hobbyist collector itch, in my opinion. They're just not that high quality coins. That said, for the half gram in particular, the one we're looking at right now, 33% premium ain't bad at all. So if you do decide to buy these, just keep them in your safe and in these large airtights, and you won't go wrong. Let them sit there for a rainy day. It's not that bad of a deal. This is the 0.1 gram of pure 999 fine gold bar by Nadir. Now, nadir literally means in English, the low point. So this is pretty a good name for this kind of bar. So this nadir bar, even though I really like the holder and I like the whole idea, I like the QR code, I like that it's numbered, etc. That's really cool to me. However, this cost me $42.80 on eBay. This was the cheapest reputable 0.1 gram gold bar I could find. There are others selling for $50, $80, or even $100 each. That is crazy. 0.1 gram of gold has literally $5.56 worth of gold in it, giving this nadir bar a 670% premium over spot. There is literally no good reason to buy this. I bought this to prove a point to you and enrich the video. I would never advocate spending this much money on 0.1 gram of gold. That said, this is pretty darn nice. But don't buy it. Do not buy this. At least not for that price. Now, just to illustrate how bad of a deal the nadir bar is, we have to look no further than the infamous Karatbar. Now, the Karatbar, which we have here, is similar in concept to the Goldback in that it is intended to be used as a currency and not just backed by gold, but actually containing real gold. But that's where the similarities end. For those of you who don't yet know about Goldbacks, don't worry, I am going to get to that and you will see them soon enough. So what do you notice first about the Karatbar when you look at the actual gold? What does that say over there? Oh, that's right. It says nadir, 0.1 gram. Take a look at this. Nadir, 0.1 gram. They're exactly the same. All that's different is the holder around them. Now, there's nothing wrong with the actual piece of gold. In fact, the actual piece of gold is great. It's a pure gold bar. However, it's all about the price. Now this one costs $17.95. That is way cheaper for the same freaking thing. However, it still has the same $5.56 worth of gold in it, which means that this has an absurd 223% premium. What's more, the reason why I said infamous when I described Karatbars is because Karatbars is effectively an MLM. Or for those of you who don't like that euphemism, it's a pyramid scheme. That's right, they call it an affiliate program, but it's really just a way to push overpriced gold into a market of well-meaning but ignorant people. I bought this one on the secondary market for way less than it would have cost had I bought it directly from them. In short, don't buy these. The premium is high and the barter value is low because Karatbars has such a negative association with the name. Now, if you can pick these up cheap on the secondary market for a couple bucks a piece, then obviously it's a good deal. Same with any of this stuff, right? The whole point that I'm making though is that what these are readily available for on the open market are really, really high prices. So just beware. When you're buying these, if you see this available for $6, $7, then hey, the whole calculus changes and it might actually be a good deal. I'm just talking about what's readily available online and in many jewelry stores, pawn shops, etc. Now we're going to start getting into some of the more unusual stuff. Unusual in the sense that utility, novelty, and investability all get tangled up to make things even more difficult to judge. Well, actually, let's start with a really easy one to judge, and that is basically one that is pure novelty. This is the gold grain card, and this is a teeny tiny piece of gold bullion laminated in a card surrounded by tons of certifications and symbols. At the end of the day, this is 1 grain of gold, not 1 gram. 1 grain contains $3.60 worth of gold. Yet this cost me $11.98 on eBay, and that's after submitting a best offer request. So let's do the math. That's a 232% premium. Wowzer bowser. I mean, this is just pure novelty, plain and simple. There is no valid reason for someone that's serious about gold products to actually purchase this. The things I do for you guys, am I right? Purchasing this for $12 freaking dollars. Well, anyway, if you want to thank me for throwing away my money so you don't have to, please consider hitting the like button now. It takes but a second. And unlike how I feel about buying this 1 grain nonsense, you won't regret hitting that subscribe button. So I would appreciate if you'd take a moment to do that as well. Thank you all very, very much. Alright, I've teased you long enough. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the Utah Goldbacks. For those of you who don't know, the Utah Goldback is an extraordinarily unique small gold product. Essentially, it's a banknote made of real gold sandwiched between 2 thin polymer protective strips that's intended to be used as a currency. That's right, this is not just a piece of gold bullion intended to sit in a safe as a hedge against inflation or as a means of preserving wealth long term. This is intended to be part of a social movement to bring people an option to engage in trade and commerce using hard money as opposed to fiat currency like the US dollar. Those of you who know me know that I'm a huge fan of the Goldback. You can check out my first video of them here if you're interested. Goldbacks are novel, they're beautiful, and they're a statement of freedom, and they're not that expensive. When I made my first video about Goldbacks, they were really pretty unknown and you could only get them through 1 or 2 online retailers. Today you can get them on tons of sites. I'll put a link to a list of all the retailers down below and you can choose whatever you want. The cheapest place you can get them, however, is on upma.org, and the 1 Goldback at 1/1000th of an ounce is the cheapest, and it comes in at $3.10. They each contain $1.73 worth of gold, giving them a 73% premium over spot. Now, UPMA is great, but since they're primarily a vaulting company, there are some hoops you're gonna have to jump through in order to buy Goldbacks. You gotta set up an account, you gotta link your bank account, etc. They don't take credit cards. There's nothing wrong with that. I have an account, but you may still prefer to use something like sdbullion.com or AppMex or any of the other retailers on that list. Also, for what it's worth, upma.org will also vault your Goldbacks free of charge and ship them to you whenever you want in whatever denominations you want. Again, if you're looking for the lowest price exposure to gold bullion, this may not be the way to go about it. In fact, no small gold really is. However, if you are interested in a highly popular, highly unique gold product and being part of a social movement that promotes the use of gold in everyday commerce, the Goldback is simply amazing. And no, this is not a gimmick. There are literally hundreds of businesses that actively accept Goldbacks as a form of payment. And I have personally successfully used them at several locations in Atlanta, Georgia, far away from Utah where they were initially intended to be used. They're most effective when they're traded with small businesses like farmers markets and stuff like that. Eventually, I'll put together a video of me spending my Goldbacks. Now, since they are primarily a currency, all the denominations are interchangeable, meaning that a 1 Goldback, which is 1/1000th of an ounce, is $3.10, then a 10 Goldback, that's 1/100th of an ounce of gold, is $31 even, and so on and so forth. That's how it is on upma.org, though you may see some variation at traditional online bullion dealers because demand is so high. Goldback literally can't print enough of them fast enough, so retailers have had to raise premiums in some cases to slow down demand. In any case, I'm a huge advocate, but I totally respect if your gold buying philosophy is purely about stacking as much as possible for as low a premium as possible. And for that matter, that's how the leadership at Goldback Inc. feels as well. So you do you, and you do what's right for your stacking goals and for your gold investment goals. Next up is a really unusual one. It's this. Edible gold. That's right, there is no reason other than to flex your wealth to eat gold. Gold is totally inert, so it does not react with your body, it just passes straight through. Yep, exactly. So it's not dangerous, it's just terribly wasteful. This little jar contains 0.1 grams of edible food grade gold, and it cost me $41.32. It has the same $5.56 worth of gold, so it has a massive 643% premium. However, for this product, I do not have a problem with the super high premium. Cornucopia.com, where I bought this product, does not recommend that you buy this for investment purposes. It is a novelty and utility product for the fancy foods industry. I will definitely suggest that you not buy this for stacking or trade, but hey, if you're fancy, why not? Speaking of, if you are a patron, you will get to see me being fancy and eating this in a Patreon only video. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to cook, but I will make something and I will consume some of these edible gold flakes. So stay tuned. And if you're not a patron yet, now's the time. Now the next piece of gold looks very similar to that edible gold product. It is the classic Vial of Gold that comes in all those scam eBay grab bags, and it's available on eBay, or like this one, from a shady Chinese retailer called Wish.com. Now, this says in Chinese that it contains 2 grams of edible gold, which should be worth $120.65, yet it only cost me $4.57. So, did I get the deal of a lifetime? No, this is simply fake gold. It's gold painted plastic or metal or some other junk. Almost none of those gold vials, whatever the shape, usually they come much smaller than this, do not contain real gold. There is no real gold, so therefore the premium is infinite. Do not buy this, and please do not eat this. This, even though it says that on the website that it's meant to be consumed, do not eat this because it's not actual real gold. Therefore, we don't know if it's actually non-reactive with your body. Therefore, we don't know what kind of harm will befall you if you do eat it. So that's a warning to you. Don't buy this for any purpose whatsoever. Now we've got 3 items left, and we will start with the highest premium of the 3, and that is gold pay dirt. Many of you may remember me finding these tiny little gold nuggets by panning out some Yukon gold pay dirt. If you missed it, you can see it right over here. But essentially, gold pay dirt is a product where you can literally buy dirt from a gold mine and pan it out at home. Usually it's seeded with a minimum amount of gold, but theoretically you can actually get more. The 2-pound bag that I bought cost me $41.99, and it contained $14.70 worth of gold. A whopping 186% premium. Now I will say that a lot of this premium is based in the fact that you are paying for an activity, and therefore you're also theoretically paying to practice panning at home, a skill that could make you money out in the wild. Some people love it. I'm still on the fence. I don't know how I feel about this panning at home thing. But in any case, it's not a good way to invest in gold. It's a good way to have a good afternoon if you enjoy that kind of thing, but certainly don't spend $42 on these tiny little gold flakes. Next up is one we all know: jewelry. This is a 10-karat gold bracelet that weighs a total of 1.73 grams. Now remember, since it's 10-karat gold, it's only 41.7% gold, which means that its actual gold weight is 0.72 grams, making it worth $40.15. Now I paid $56.39 on eBay, making it a 40% premium. Not terrible given its utility. I mean, you can actually enjoy this gold every single day by wearing it. In other parts of the world, like India for instance, gold jewelry is a very common means of preserving wealth. In this case, since it's only 10-karat gold, it's not really that desirable as an investment piece. That said, technically, its premium is much lower than a lot of the bullion. So hey, maybe this type of gold fits your investment philosophy best, and you'll end up as a jewelry collector. I'm curious actually, please let me know in the comments below if you buy gold jewelry to stack and invest due to low premiums. It's not a terrible option. And last but not least, the lowest premium gold item in our study is a piece of 14-karat gold wire and a 14-karat gold bead. I bought these items off of a site called rashbell.com, and they are intended to be used to make jewelry. It's a total of 1.37 grams of 14-karat gold, which is worth a total of $44.46. That's right, $44.46 for this ostensible junk, right? Most people would just pass this up and throw it in the trash. Well, I paid just $53.27 for these items, making these come in at a 20% premium over spot. That's pretty darn close to the premium you'd pay for a 1-ounce gold coin. The benefit is obvious. You can get as much or as little of this wire as you want, and it has utility because you can make jewelry out of it, and it has a very low premium, at least comparatively. The negatives, however, are just as obvious. These are unmarked, totally raw, and extremely difficult to sell or trade. They will not be trusted by most people and do not have the appeal of a bullion piece or even a piece of finished jewelry. It's not what I'd invest in, but hey, maybe some of you watching will say, I don't care. This is a good gold life hack and I want to start investing like this. And I wouldn't blame you. At the end of the day, it is still low premium small gold. You can enter into the world of gold investing for just 50 bucks and get a fair amount of gold. Check it out. So wow, take a look at our final chart. This is pretty amazing. And as far as I know, I'm the only person on the internet to have ever done such a study. Please let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this and if you learned from it, or if you have other things that you'd want to add to the list. And maybe I'll do something similar with silver. Let me know if you'd like to see that. Wow, that really is incredible. So a huge thank you again to Alpine Gold and Goldback Inc. for commissioning this study and sponsoring the video. If any of you guys have any questions about what you saw in this video, drop them in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. I've got a lot more awesome coin-related, bullion-related, personal finance-related content coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out. A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are awesome. The Discord conversation has been amazing this past week. If you want to join the best coin collecting and precious metal stacking community on the web, join me in Patreon and get on the Discord.